with Overwatch Season 9 on the way. At least when you guys are seeing this, it should be releasing tomorrow. So they actually released the patch notes, at least when I'm recording this a few hours ago. I don't know when you guys will probably be seeing this, probably later today. But the patch notes went live a little bit ago today. And I wanted to break down the patch notes for this patch because Season 9 is probably the most crucial season in like Overwatch 2 history up until this point, at least for how long Overwatch 2 has been around for the last year and a half, 2 years already. So there's a lot of stuff here that I really want to talk about, so it might be a little bit of a longer video. Not going to be too much on screen. I'm just going to be going through the patch notes, kind of giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on the patch notes and that type of thing, kind of going over everything. So if you guys want to see the patch notes for yourself, there's a link to the patch notes on the Overwatch 2 website, so you guys can look at them yourself. I don't know if I'll just throw some gameplay in the background in the meantime or whatever while I'm just going through the patch notes. But if you guys want to tap out and listen to me talk as well, that'd be completely fine. I do apologize as well for like the lack of Overwatch stuff on the channel, especially over the last like 2 months, but you guys gotta bear with me. Like Overwatch Season 8 was like probably the worst season in the history of the entire game. It was so boring, and even like right now, I have not played the game. I'm not going to be playing the game until Season 9 drops, and I have not played the game at all for like the past 3 weeks, because Season 8 has been so fucking dog shit. It is probably the worst season the game has ever had. It really has been. Battle Pass was shit, the balance was fucking shit, ranked is shit, matchmaking is shit, everything about the game was absolutely fucking garbage, so we're going to go through the patch notes. I don't have really high hopes, because just seeing some of the leaks and some of the other stuff that they've been talking about over like the past week already, kind of going over stuff and giving people teasers, I'm not really holding my hopes high. The main thing is the game is not going back to 6v6 already, so that's out the window. So that instantly the Season 9 is already at an L. It already has a huge L because the game's not being reverted back to 6v6. So talk a little bit about the patch. I'll throw the patch notes on screen for you guys right now. I'm not going to go through everything on here because otherwise we'll be sitting here for like 5 hours. I'm going to try to make this video at least kind of timely and not really like incredibly long, but there's a lot I want to talk about, so it's telling me it might be kind of a long video. We got Season 9, new event Cosmic Crisis, which is kind of like an in-game mini co-op mission. So another shitty PvP or like a PvE event. Like I don't know who the fuck's gonna be playing this. I really don't. I'm for sure not gonna be playing it. Competitive's going to be getting an overhaul, which is something they've been talking about for the last like 2 or 3 seasons already. It's finally here. Skill, that's also the reason why Season 8 was garbage as well, because you would play ranked and nobody would give a fuck about their rank. You had, I think Season 8 was probably the season of the most throwers I think I've ever seen in rank, like people just not even taking the game seriously at all, playing ranked. And that really helped. That really like prevented me from ranking up too, because nobody gave a fuck about the ranked games. And even when I tried to rank up, I can't even carry a game if my entire team is just a bunch of fucking trolls, or throwers, because they don't care about their rank. That was kind of the main thing from last season as well, because it ruined ranked, because they ranked, everybody knew ranked was going to be getting reset again for Season 9. So skill rank is getting reset, that we're getting placement matches back again. Competitive is going to be getting updated, so after every 5 wins or 15 losses, an update will now also happen after every single match, so you'll see your progress. Whether you lose or win, you'll have some type of indicator where you are from either ranking up or ranking down, which is pretty good. I just don't know why they just don't bring back like the entire like Overwatch 1 rank system, because the Overwatch 1 rank system was actually pretty good. I don't know why they just don't bring that back. Instead they're making like, they're reworking and like adding a bunch of new shit, when all they need to do is just go back and bring the stuff that they already have made and just bring it over to Overwatch 2, and it would save them a lot of time and effort. I really don't know why. Because I think the SR system, especially that type of thing, was a lot better than what we currently have. And it's better than probably anything we've had in Overwatch 2 up until this point, so. Skill modifiers, we got new skill tier champions. A new rank has been added above Grandmaster called Champion. It is more of an exclusive rank than any other rank in Overwatch, an exceedingly small percentage of players, so probably like your 5% of players, I'm saying maybe like the top 50 is going to be like your new champion tier rank. So like your average Joe like me, especially like somebody that plays on Switch, I'll never probably get to champion, and if you do, I think the only people that are going to get to champion are like the no-life losers that just sit in their basement all day and just play the game nonstop 24/7. Your Dorito-eating, Mountain Dew chugging, like 24/7 gamers. That's the only people that are going to actually be getting to champion. Or the people that just have a stack that carry them all the way up to champion too. I'm sure there'll be some people that just 5-stack into ranked with the new rank changes, and they'll just have somebody carry them up to champion, or they'll probably pay people to carry them up to like a high tier rank. You're gonna be seeing with season 9 dropping all. You're gonna be seeing back the people that want to charge you for getting carried in rank. They're gonna charge people for like somebody that can carry you in rank if you really want to. That's what's going to come back now, because people are going to want to get to champion tier, and people are going to start charging to like carry you to ranked. I don't know. That's what's going to happen, because that was a thing in Overwatch 1. It kind of died off once Overwatch 2 kind of dropped, because nobody really gave a shit about ranked because it was so bad. But I do see that coming back. So if you're dumb enough to spend money to have somebody carry you all the way to champion, then by all means go and try that, I guess. I don't know, I won't be doing that because I just don't give a fuck, and rank's still a joke. I got a bunch of other new stuff. I'm not going to go through a lot of this stuff because otherwise I'll be here forever. I just kind of want to go through like the main type of stuff here. A lot of this we'll see in game tomorrow, and if you guys are seeing this as well, I will be streaming probably tomorrow, and I'll be streaming some Overwatch 2. We also got Apex Legends Season 20 dropping tomorrow. It happens to be actually on the same day, which kind of sucks for me because like I'm gonna have limited time to actually play both things, so I can only kind of play one thing tomorrow and like probably most of the week. So kind of sucks. I wish they were both spread out on different times, but both new seasons for new games, both games are dropping on the same day for some reason. So, but I will be live tomorrow night if you guys want to drop by with some Overwatch 2 Season 9. We'll be checking it out on stream. We got new grouping requirements, so this is the same thing. So that's why I say they're changing all the grouping requirements. Masters players may play up with players within one skill tier of their skill rank. Grandmaster may play with players within 3 skill divisions of their skill rank. So they changed it to make it a lot more lenient, so that you're able to carry people a lot more. So that will be coming back. You know, the 5-stack of people, or like the 3 to 5-stack people with like one person that's garbage, and the other 2 just carry them. That'll be more prevalent than ever this season, I guarantee you. Competitive points. Each win now grants 10 comp points, a draw is 5, and wins grant 0. I don't know why wins would grant 0. I would actually prefer wins to actually grant like 3 points, because a lot of the time the matchmaking is so fucking awful to the point where even if you carry the game and you're the best one on your team and you still lose, it's usually because of your team. It's not because of you. I don't know about how you guys feel about that, but I don't know why 0 for loss doesn't make sense. Or at the very least, they should change that to where it depends on how well you did in your game. If you were the best person on your team, you should still get a few points. At the very least. I think that's kind of stupid. Competitive progress. Each match grants competitive progress on your meter, so kind of like a mini Overwatch 2 SR system, but like not really. It's kind of what it really is. We got competitive rewards. They're bringing jade weapons into the game. If you guys don't know, they're green. Instead of like a gold weapon, they're a green weapon. Like from what they showed in like the gameplay and what they showed of them, they look garbage. So I don't know anybody that's actually going to buy these. The jade weapons look like fuck garbage. They're really bad. Out of all the shit they want to add for a competitive reward, they add jade weapons. Really stupid. And then all existing comp points into a new currency called Legacy Competitive Points. Each gold weapon now costs 3,000 Legacy Competitive Points to purchase. So you can no longer buy gold weapons until your current points from the current ranked season get carried over into the Legacy points, which is really fucking stupid. Whoever thought of this should be fired. Yeah, that is probably the stupidest fucking change I think they've ever done. At least for competitive, for like the rewards for competitive. That is so fucking dumb. Matchmaking rating. All I care about is the matchmaking being better. I really don't give a shit about the rating. Fix the matchmaking. That's the main thing. Hopefully with the rank reset, the matchmaking becomes a lot better. Like, I'm holding on hope to hopefully it's a lot better, but I'm not gonna really... If it doesn't change, then I'm not really gonna be surprised. General updates, player progression. Got a new set of visual upgrades. Hero/game mode badges start at level 500, whatever. Got a bunch of other new stuff. Friend endorsements. I don't know what friend endorsements really even do. Like, what is the incentive of a friend endorsement? I have no idea. Doesn't even say here either. Crosshairs, we got a bunch of new crosshairs. We're not even into the balance changes yet at all, y'all. We're like probably like 10 minutes into the video and we're not even into the hero balance changes. Actually, we're not first getting into them. So what they're going to do for this entire season, you know, instead of actually reverting the game back to 6v6, which would be a million times easier, because they already did that before and that's what the game already was previously, they wasted their time going through every single hero in the game and every weapon type and everything and dumbing down the game and buffing everybody's health and buffing everybody's damage and giving the DPS a new passive and like changing a bunch of shit that will just throw the game into a loop that nobody really wanted. I don't know who the fuck asked for all these changes at all. The only thing this actually does, like, they're changing every single projectile, like the projectile size of everything in the game is getting buffed, and then they're also changing the hitboxes on a few heroes as well to make them easier to hit. So what they're doing is they're dumbing down the game. That's pretty much what they're trying to do. They're taking the game and they're dumbing it down to the point where you get value. Like your random Joe Schmo that has zero aim can go load into the match and just carry a game now because they dumbed down the game. And even though he has no aim, they made it so the projectiles and everything is easier to land. They buffed, or they made hitboxes bigger on a bunch of the champions. And they also made it so everybody has more health, so you're able to get a lot more damage and makes it feel like you're doing something. That's all this really is. I don't know how anybody can legit, like, actually think that this is actually better than the game being reverted back to 6v6, and how any of this shit is actually going to fix the game. Like, I'm not going to shit on it right now because I have not played it, but, like, just looking at the patch notes, this shit's awful. It's really bad. And they're changing the hero health pools for the supports and for a certain amount of health for, like, mainly your tanks and your DPS and support and, like, your lower health type heroes. Ultimate charge is being decreased by 10% for every single hero. Now they're giving the paladins out of combat healing to everybody now after 5 seconds of not taking damage. Yeah, I think paladins wants credit for that one, even though the game's dead. Support role passive now reduces the delay before regeneration by 2.5 seconds. Now they gave damage a roll, bro. They gave damage the cauterize. They gave cauterize from paladins to the DPS heroes. That is what this is. New role, dealing damage reduces enemy healing received by 20% for 2 seconds. So they brought cauterize from paladins into Overwatch, y'all. I don't know. I mean, at the same time, like, they're taking a lot of shit from paladins, but at the same time, paladins is probably on its way out. That game is so fucking dead. It's probably the most dead it's ever been going into this year, and they just had their season launch update, and the game actually lost players with the launch of the season update for January. So, like, I don't think Paladin's gonna survive past 2025 at all. So, if anything, they might as well just take whatever they want from Paladins before it dies. Without giving credit, I don't blame them. Game sucks. Maybe they're planning on buying Paladins. I wouldn't be surprised if Blizzard or, like, Microsoft's planning on buying Paladins out once it dies. Maybe that's what their plan is. And then they buffed the quick melee damage from 30 to 40. Here we got the balance changes, starting with D.Va. Buffing her health, and then they buffed the explosion damage on her ult from 900 to 1,000 damage. Doomfist got a health buff. I don't know why we're buffing Doomfist. Doomfist didn't even need any buffs. He's so annoying to play against. Doomfist is probably the most annoying tank in the game to play against. I wouldn't say like he's unkillable like Reese is, or like Ramatra is, but just from like pure annoyance, I think Doomfist is probably the most annoying one to play against. I don't know why he needed buffs. Junker Queen. I don't actually think there's not enough buffs for Junker Queen. I think she's still really weak. I think Junker Queen's really weak, especially with DPS having the Cauterize passive now. Cauterize is going to affect all these tanks that have no way to actually get out of, like, prevent them from being damaged, like no shield or like anything like that. Junker Queen, and especially like Roadhog, which we'll talk about as well, those are going to be the heroes that are going to really fucking suffer because of the new Cauterize passive for the DPS heroes. They don't actually take that in consideration here, though. they're just going to buff Junker Queen's health and give her a small damage buff, which is not going to be nearly enough. A lot of it, what you're going to see with this patch is you're going to see a lot of the tanks are going to be really suffering again. Mainly the ones that have no way to get out of damage for very long. Mainly stuff like Junker Queen, Roadhog's probably going to be the worst tank in the game again. Wrecking Ball's probably going to be the worst tank in the game again. You're going to have a lot of that stuff. Malga's not going to be that good. I mean, Malga has his own self-recovery, but like having that, being able to like not even heal 20% less, it's going to be really, really bad for him. Orisa, they're buffing Orisa's armor. Why the fuck are you buffing Orisa when she's probably the second best tank in the game right now, currently? Like, at least currently in Season 8, or at the end of Season 8, with Ramatra. I have no idea. Unkillable. She's already unkillable and she shits damage. I don't know why they're making her even less unkillable. What else we have? We have Ryan. Ryan got some small buffs. I think Ryan still needs way more buffs. He's really bad. Roadhog. This is all they give Roadhog, y'all. Roadhog is probably the second worst tank in the game right now, alongside Wrecking Ball, and he's probably still going to be probably the worst tank in the game. They nerfed his Take a Breather in Season 8, like mid-Season 8, so he can't get nearly the amount of health back that he had. They also increased the delay on his Take a Breather, so it takes longer to actually heal yourself between heals. That actually fucking killed him again. And now they're only going to give him a 100 health buff when everything has Cauterize, and everything else is going to have easier to land damage and way better damage numbers. He never got any damage buffs either. So everybody else is going to be doing more damage. They're going to prevent you from healing, and they're going to be able to hit you even easier than before. So what does that spell for Roadhog? That spell is probably the worst tank in the game, which is really unfortunate because that's like the only tank I play. If you guys don't know, I'm a rank 40 Roadhog player. I'm a hero rank 40 Roadhog player on Switch. Like, that's legit the only tank I really play, apart from like Diva and Junker Queen, and maybe a little bit of Ryan. Lucky me, the Roadhog player is getting fucked again. Every single patch, it is always the Roadhog players getting fucked. I hate Blizzard, I really do. I fucking hate Blizzard. Sigma, getting a small buff. Winston's another tank that'll never be truly good unless 6v6 is brought back. No matter what they do to Winston, he'll never be good unless it's 6v6. They can buff this guy into oblivion, and he still will never really be that good apart from maybe in pro play. Or like maybe your really high tiers of ranked. But like for your overall average majority of the players, he will never be good unless it's 6v6, and that's another tank that's being held back by the 5v5 format. Wrecking Ball, still going to be garbage. They gave him an extra 75 armor. That is not going to save him. He's garbage. Zarya getting extra buff. I still think Zarya is really, really good. We got a bunch of damage buffs for Ashe. Ashe getting buffed. It's just pretty much everything's getting buffed. Like everything, I don't even know why I'm going through a lot of this, because everything is getting buffed. Everything either has more survivability with extra health, or it also gets damage buffs. So not only are they making it easier to land damage, they're also buffing damage on a bunch of shit. So I think the big losers here are actually the tanks. I think tank's going to be absolutely fucking miserable. Tank is going to be fucking miserable for Season 9. I'm not looking forward to playing tank at all. Not only are you not going to be able to heal, but then they also will nerf the shit out of a lot of supports, so they don't heal nearly as much, I think, which we'll get to. At least that's what I've seen with a lot of the teasers they've been throwing out, but we're going to get that in a little bit. And I never looked at a lot of the patch notes before I got into this, because I wanted like a genuine reaction for you guys. A lot of changes here. They're buffing Hanzo for whatever reason. Why are you buffing Hanzo? I mean, he maybe, like, the only thing with Hanzo is he can't really one-shot anymore because, or like a lot less one-shots because everybody has their health buffed. But at the same time, they're buffing their projectiles, so it's a lot easier to land headshots. So at the same time, I think it's going to be like the same, just about the same as he currently is. So the guy is just going to sit and one-tap you from like halfway across the map, or like in the enemy team's back line, there'll be nothing you can do about it. And now they're buffing his damage on his storm arrows again for no reason. That's great. Junkrat getting buffed. Another one I think is going to be really good. I think Junkrat's going to be incredibly good going into this. Pharah actually ended up getting reworked. If you guys know, Pharah got reworked for Season 9 as well. Probably one of the most fun DPS heroes in the entire game, Pharah. And probably another hero that is like my best damage hero to play. It's the one I'm the best at least, apart from like Reaper. They reworked her to the point where now your booster no longer charges when you're in the air. So your jet fuel tank only charges when you're touching the ground, which is probably the most stupid fucking balance change I think they've ever made to any hero for like any type of rework. And then this goes to show you how fucking stupid the balance team is when they are reworking Pharah, but like in the blog talking about Pharah, they said the main reason why they want to rework her is because they don't like her being paired with Mercy. So don't you think Mercy is the problem and maybe the thing you should be reworking instead of Pharah? So why are they reworking Pharah when there's shit in the game that needs to be reworked, like Wrecking Ball, Mercy, Moira? Like there's a bunch of other heroes in the game that need to be entirely reworked. Zenyatta is another one. There's a lot of heroes in the game that could be useful for reworks. Symmetra is another one. Like why the fuck are they wasting their time reworking Pharah and then ruining Pharah and then instead of actually reworking a bunch of other stuff? Even like Mercy, I think Mercy is probably the thing that needs to be reworked the most. She needs to be reworked, but they're not going to rework her because Mercy is probably the second best, highest like skin seller in the entire game apart from Kiriko. So that's why they'll never rework Mercy. The Mercy players have Blizzard in their back pocket because they're speaking with their wallet, and Blizzard loves money. That's why she's never going to get reworked, even though it's the right thing to do. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a Pharah. Like Pharah is one of my most played DPS heroes. I'm gonna be fucked. I'm absolutely gonna be out of water. I don't know what I'm gonna play for DPS. I still have Reaper and a few other things I kind of play, but like my main one is Pharah. Like I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board because either I try to relearn her or see how she plays. I don't know. I have to play her in game, but just looking at like all these changes, like this type of shit. And she also has a new secondary fire ability, which is called Jet Dash. Provides a quick horizontal boost in the direction Pharah is moving. So, I don't know. Like, what they kind of did, too, is they kind of made Pharah more like Drogos from Paladins. I don't know if you guys... A lot of you guys probably don't play Paladins anymore, but Drogos kind of had the same thing as, like, a Jet Dash. Even though his was kind of a thruster, but it would kind of throw you in a specific direction. He had that as well, kind of. So, I don't know. At least Drogos can recharge his booster fuel in the air, though. Having to drop to the ground to refill your booster is the fucking stupidest shit ever. That is so dumb. That is the stupidest shit ever. And they nerfed Concussive Blast. Okay. It does 30 damage to enemy targets now. They have decreased the cooldown, but the explosion radius is nerfed, and they reduced the knockback. Then why the fuck do you even have the ability? Rework Concussive Blast, then. Fucking useless ability now. The only reason why you use Concussive Blast is for the knockback. It's not for the damage. It never did really damage anyways until now, but the only reason you use is for the knockback. Why would you reduce the knockback? I have no idea. Barrage now instantly refuels hover jet fuel, so if you ult somebody, you can go right back into the air, I guess. Hover jets, speed boosted, now requires landing to recharge fuel. Stupid. Fucking stupid. Can now be activated without fuel to slow your descent. Whatever. Garbage. You know, Microsoft actually laid off a bunch of people too, and if you guys realize, like a few weeks ago, I think like 2 weeks ago now, at least when we're recording this, they laid off a bunch of people at Blizzard. At least me personally, I was hoping they would actually fire some of the people that were actually balanced in the game. But obviously, the people that are actually balanced in the game never got fired. They're still balanced in the game, and they're still ruining the game, and they're ruining shit like this. I was hoping those were some of the people that actually got fired, but unfortunately, the ones that got fired were probably the ones the game needed the most. And the ones the game did not need at all, like the current Pounds team, are the ones that are still there. So they fired the wrong people, at least. Kind of sad. And hopefully skin prices go down. At least with them laying off people, hopefully the skin prices go down because they have to pay less wages. So maybe we'll get really lucky and the skin prices will be lowered. I don't know, that's what I'm hoping for, but I highly doubt it. Blizzard, they're greedy. They only care about money. Reaper got a health buff, Soldier and Hill health buff. I don't know if that's a buff or a nerf to the railgun, I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter. She's so good, it doesn't really even matter. They're making it so the projectile size is also, like, better, and it's a lot easier to hit. So, like, at the end, like, no matter what they do to her, she's going to be better. Well, she's going to be getting more consistent damage anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Bunch of other changes. I'm not going to go through all these because a lot of them don't really matter. The supports are all getting their getting some health buffs. I don't see any healing changes here. I don't know. They teased a lot of healing changes. Kiriko got a base projectile size reduced for the kunai, so it's a little bit harder to land. I know they teased a bunch of health changes or like healing changes here. I think the main healing change is probably the cauterize change. I guess they didn't. They must not have went through with a lot of the healing nerfs for a lot of the sports. I know there was something like a few weeks ago that they were going to be nerfing a lot of the healing numbers on some of the sports, but they must have went with the cauterize passive instead. They went full send on that, and they never changed any of the healing numbers, at least for the start of the season. Soundwave getting a bit of a buff for Lucio. Mercy got a buff. Activate duration on jump / crouch cancel reduced from 1.5 to 1 second. Why are we buffing Mercy? Didn't they say in the blog for Pharah, like when they were reworking Pharah, that Mercy is the main problem and she pairs really well with so many heroes, and the main reason to rework Pharah was so she doesn't have to rely on Mercy to be good? But like the real reason she's getting reworked is because of Mercy. Don't you think Mercy shouldn't be getting a rework? Why are you buffing her? Why are you buffing Mercy? Brain dead fucking hero. She takes no skill. You just alternate clicking between two buttons. Either you're healing somebody and floating between people every 2 seconds, or you're just standing there and holding down blue beam and letting your DPS do all the work, or your tank do all the work. She takes no skill. Brain dead support. Moira's getting a bit of a buff. Increase the fire damage. Why are they buffing the damage on Moira? The secondary fire target equation radius increase, so they're buffing the damage on Moira. So not only does Moira get a mythical skin in the battle pass for this season, so she's going to be in every single game that you have, they're also incentivizing the people that already never heal with Moira and just run into the enemy team's backline and feed free kills the entire game to go and play damage even more so now by buffing her damage and the radius on her secondary. That's great. That's real cool. So Blizzard wants people to pick Moira and go into people's ranked games and throw their game by never healing and just playing damage. So that's what Blizzard actually wants, y'all. So if that's what Blizzard wants, then might as well just play it. I'll be one of those people that goes into ranks and I'll just sit and play damage Moira. That's what I'll do, I guess. And you'll see her a lot too because she has the mythical skin, so she'll probably be in like every single game. I'm not looking forward to playing tank and then having only one support that actually heals. And then the Moira on my team is way on the other side of the map in the enemy team's backline trying to 1v5 everybody the entire game. And then in like a 10-minute match, they have like 20 deaths. They've probably died like 20 times, and then they wonder why we lose. That's usually how it goes when you have a Moira on your team. Nobody actually heals with her, they just play damage. Zenyatta getting a shield buff and a health buff. I don't know why he never got a rework or any type of nerfs to his damage orb. Map update. Junkertown's also getting a bit of a map update. Not going to talk about it very much because you can kind of need to play on it to see how it really changed and how it plays. Bunch of other bug fixes to a bunch of other maps. Bug fixes for some of the heroes. Bug fixes for Hog. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't fix anything. That's all we have, y'all. That is all we have. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I don't know. Overall, for judging from the batch notes, do I think this season is going to be good? I don't know. I mean, I can't really say because this is one of the kind of seasons you kind of need to get into the game and kind of play to see how it goes. But judging from the patch notes, there's a lot of shit here that I don't really do not like at all. The main thing is the Pharah rework. I hate the Pharah rework. I don't think she needs to be reworked at all. I don't know why they're reworking her. Same with tanks. I feel like tanks are going to be absolutely fucking garbage. The tanks continue to just get absolutely shit on. Every single patch, they just get shit on. Everybody else is able to play the game, but the only ones that are able to suffer are the tanks. Aren't able to play and do anything half the time. There's maybe like 3 tanks. There are maybe like 3 tanks every single update or like every single season that are just absolutely fucking broken, and then the rest of them are like almost unplayable. This past season, towards the end of Season 8, the 3 tanks that you were seeing were either Doomfist or Matra or Orisa. Those are the 3 tanks that everybody was playing. And then towards the start of Season 8, before he got nerfed, it was the Malga, before he got nerfed into the ground. I don't know. And then Malga ruined pretty much Season 8 for at least 3 months, pretty much, until he got nerfed towards mid-season. even then he was still really good, so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm not sure which, I don't even know. I'm not gonna be honest with you guys, I don't really know how I feel about the patch. I really don't. Like, a lot of this you need to kind of go into the game and play to see how it plays, but everything getting its health buffed and then having all the ways to do damage, like everybody's damage projectiles and like hit scan type stuff and that type of thing getting buffed so it's easier to land damage and that type of thing on everybody. I don't know how I feel about that, especially with the cauterize changes. I think the cauterize change, like the passive for the DPS, is a huge mistake. It really is. Not really for anybody else in the game, but I think the main thing it's going to really affect is the tanks, because a lot of the tanks are really going to suffer from that. I do not think that Overwatch is a game that needed cauterize. It did not need that at all. You can make the game around not having to have cauterize. I think the DPS passive of being just be able to reload slightly faster was already way better than the cauterize passive, but then again, you got a literal team of clowns balancing the game. And then instead of actually reverting the game to 6v6, they're sitting and wasting their time just rebalancing everything from the ground up. When the 6v6 was already an established playstyle and like an established format for the game previously. So, I don't know, they're wasting their time, and they're the same people that are wasting their time doing this. Instead of just reverting back to something that they already had, which would be way easier to balance for, and they already have a bunch of info and a bunch of insight already how to balance it, so I don't know. Or even like make the game that way. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, share the video. Like I said, I will be live when you guys are seeing this, probably on Tuesday night with some Overwatch 2 Season 9. We also got Apex Legends Season 20 dropping. I don't know if I'll be doing a patch notes breakdown for the Season 20 of Apex, but I probably won't, because there's not really too much, at least on the patch notes, that I really need to go over. It's kind of more of like a filler season, if I'm being real with you guys, at least for Season 20 of Apex. No new hero, no new map, a lot of filler stuff, so I don't think it really pays going over a lot of it. But I will be playing that probably tomorrow night on stream as well, so if you guys want to drop by, feel free to. Apart from that, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody.